Okay. Hi, Wonderfuls, and welcome to episode 2 of From 9 to 5 to Empowering Femboss. This is the podcast that helps inspire all upcoming female entrepreneurs and female entrepreneurs in the industry. And as I said before, I wanted to do the series by interviewing others to share their experience and really just to get a little bit more insight as to what their difficulties are or how they started. And one female entrepreneur, which I'm so excited to introduce, is Schirmer Shoots, and actually one of my best friends, Schirmer, who has gone from yachting, Little Miss captain, first officer, boss woman, to having her own business and starting a van. And her journey has just begun, but it's begun with the smash hit. And yeah, I can't wait to start this interview. Hi, Dietland.
Hi, Tasha. Thanks for having me.
Oh, I'm so excited. I've been waiting for this. So yeah, we're just going to start right in. I'm literally just going to give you a few questions, and at the end we've got a quick fire round, and that's something that you are not aware of, but yeah, we're going to...
We've had one of these before at your birthday party.
This is true. Okay, cool. So tell us about your previous job and what were your experiences, positive and negative, really.
Yeah, okay. So straight out of school, basically, I went sailing. I started working on sailing boats, and eventually it progressed to working on big yachts. And I made a career out of that. And yeah, I was 10 years in the industry, basically. The last 5 years as a navigational officer. And yeah, it was a really nice process of kind of getting to officer level. But once I was there, it was basically just paperwork and a lot of stress. On the big boats, it's very corporate. And yeah, it just wasn't for me anymore. You know, there was no creativity there, and people come and go. It's not very personal. It's a big party scene, and I'm not into that kind of thing. So it's a great career, and you see a lot of the world, and it's fantastic for growing and saving money. But I think you get to a point, especially if you're a creative and if you're empathetic and you kind of need real relationships with people, then yachting's quite shallow. It's more about the money at some point. And that's kind of why I decided to step away from that and pursue something that I was much more interested in. If I had known from the beginning what my passion was, I think a lot of people leave school and just don't really know what they want to do. And then, you know, you get to 30 or 40 and you realize, oh, well, I found my passion now. And then they're scared because it's like, well, I'm too old to start a new journey now. And then they give up on their dreams, which I find really sad. So I'm lucky I was 30, almost 30, when I kind of said, okay, let's try something else. And I just went for it. I don't regret any of it, but it's just been time for a change.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Time for change. I'm so glad you took the change as well, because I've obviously known you since we were young.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even in high school, you were doing photography, but it was like everything. You don't realize back then how can photography basically make a lot of money. And we both, even though we're both creatives, we're both very smart women. So like I was even going to go into chemistry, and that was going to be my pursue. So the fact that you've gone through this, but then gone back to your authentic self, I think it's incredible. So some of the questions could filter in with each other. So yeah, if you want to just add, you can add, or we could just skip to the next. Why did you choose to leave your previous job?
Yeah, I kind of covered that before. Just feeling like I wasn't expressing myself. I didn't have that creativity anymore. And it was just very stressful. You know, as soon as you go into big boats, they're like big hotels, and you're in charge of a lot of crew. There's a lot of politics going on, and it's just stressful. If you're a person that takes on a lot of stress, it kind of gets you down. Yeah, and that's really the reason why I left, just to pursue that creativity that I had been missing for a really long time. And feeling, I don't know, I think I felt like I had reached my goal by reaching the officer's license. And I was contemplating going all the way to captain and doing that and doing the courses and studying. And I think that would have kept me motivated, having that challenge. But in the end, I just didn't really see myself as a captain. You have to be a little bit of a politician and play the game, and I'm just not like that. I'm very honest. I'm not a businessman in that sense that I can kind of wrap people around my finger. I'm too honest for that. So I just didn't see myself in that scene anymore. And that's why I decided to kind of take a step back.
Sounds exactly what I would have done. Okay, so van life. Let's talk about this. This is how you started your YouTube channel. Tell us more about the van life saga that just happened all of a sudden.
Yeah, so it was a bit of an impulsive decision after leaving the yacht. I took a bit of time off. I traveled a little bit. I was surfing a bit, just kind of zoning out from the high stress lifestyle and just trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And then the concept was always there to have a art business, photography, travel, surfing. And I thought, well, how could I facilitate that? How could I actually do that in an economical way? And the best way I could think of was to actually have a van that you can live in and work from and travel in to do your photography and to surf and to do that kind of lifestyle. So I thought, well, why don't I buy a van? I've got a bit of savings from working at sea for 10 years and convert it. And during the conversion, I could film it and get a bit of a following. And then at the same time, kind of start the photography business on the side. And yeah, it wasn't fully planned out. It kind of just evolved with the build. But the build was really just the tool to kind of facilitate the end goal, which is the business.
That's amazing. And if you haven't seen Dietland's van, you need to go check it out because it is incredible. It's one of the best vans, like my top 5 vans that I've seen conversions. And also, by the way, Dietland did it all herself. She literally did the whole journey in, was it 6 months?
Pretty much 6 months, yeah. It took a bit longer to kind of research, find the van, design it. There were a few delays, but pretty much 6 months. I had a little bit of help when it came to the electrics, and my dad also helped me with a few bits and pieces, but 95% of it I did myself, yeah.
And I'm sure loads of the skills you got being on the boats for so long.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. A lot of it was, yeah, I've always been fixing things and varnishing and painting, but still it was a challenge, and still I learned a lot and kind of had to figure a lot out, you know. It's a very unique project to build a van, so you have to problem solve a lot. Yeah.
Next up, you're gonna do a DIY on a house.
Yeah, well,
like literally build your house.
I'm thinking about a container house or something a little bit down the line, so who knows.
Okay, cool. So what is your passion? Tell us more about who is Dietland and what's your authentic self?
I think we're also trying to figure that out a little bit. I don't know. I like being out in nature. I like being around real people with real stories. Surfing, photography, yeah, just real people. I don't like cities. I don't like hustle and bustle. I don't like politics. I don't like people using and abusing each other to get to the next level. I'd rather be around people that encourage each other. Or be alone in that case. I'm a bit of a loner, but that's okay. So yeah, that's me really, still trying to figure it out, but looking for the more wholesome things in life, I think.
And you've said obviously photography, is videography is also something you're into?
Yeah, well, I'm trying to kind of develop that. I'm really enjoying getting more into the videography side of things. I never studied it. I've never been trained in it. So it's kind of a learning curve. It's improving with every video that I make, but there's still a long way to go. But yeah, it's turning into a bit of a passion, but it's a work in progress.
And because you've also got some art experience, is there anything that we can see from yours now, or what is your vision in terms of your art as well?
Yeah, again, I haven't really defined this so well. I think often us creatives, we just create when we're inspired. So from time to time, I'll paint something and and it'll just be something that came up in the moment. But yeah, the plan was to create paintings, to do like a souvenir range of carved surfboards and stuff like that. So I can't really promise anything what you'll see. On my website, I've got a few of my paintings. There's not much there at the moment because I've been spending all my time building the van. But I think once I'm off and I'm just kind of winding down from the whole build, I'm sure I'll find a bit more inspiration and I'll start painting again. So yeah, just a few ideas, driftwood art, paintings, wooden carvings and stuff like that. So.
And I've seen some of the things, guys. It's, well, I should say ladies. And it's really like, I love Dietland's work. So where is Schirmer Shoots now?
So I think Schirmer Shoots it's still at the early stages. It hasn't really taken off yet, but I think the groundwork's been made. I've had a long time to kind of think about what I want to do and what I want my brand to be. And now that the van's done, I'm getting a lot more exposure and a lot more kind of people noticing me. So I've had a few offers come in for different kinds of niches. It's kind of funny because it's opened up a lot of opportunities, not just photography, not just like van life, but I've had people ask me to do video projects and to build vans for them, and things are coming in. So I think I need to let it be a little bit organic as well, and just see what opportunities present themselves, and see what Schirmer Shoots evolves into. There's also a possible plan to move back to Africa, so that could be a total revamp of the whole Schirmer Shoots, maybe even selling the van. So nothing set in stone, but the core value of Schirmer Shoots is still travel, adventure, photography, filmmaking, telling people stories, and just living really without that corporate pressure.
Yeah. I think the one thing about businesses, and I think a lot of people don't get it when they start, is yes, you have an end goal in mind, but the best thing about when you build up a business, you have to adapt to what comes, or adapt to, because the world's always changing, as we know, with COVID and everything like that. And being able to, okay, this is my vision, but then something happens and you'll be able to adapt it, because the thing is, anything can happen, you know what I mean? All of a sudden we could have your house can go on fire and you can lose everything, and all you've got is just what you have. Or even Dietland's experienced it, by the way, which I've just remembered. She went through an experience where the boat turned on fire, and she was in the Mediterranean, like shipwrecked, guys. So it's anything can happen, and that made her go to Cape Town for a few months, and so things change. And I love that you're keeping it organic. I also am the same. I'm very much, this is my path, but I'll be open to new experiences. So what is the most challenging? What is the most challenging when transitioning from your old job into your current position right now?
Well, clearly it comes with a lot of work starting a new business and so on, but I think the biggest challenge is the mentality of it, just getting over that mental obstacle, because you're in a comfort zone before. You've got a boss, your salary is coming in, and maybe you don't like it and it's not always very nice to be there, and you hate your job and you hate your boss, but it's a comfort zone. I think the unknown is the most difficult, because you don't know. It's always a risk. You don't know if your business is going to work. You don't know when the next paycheck's going to come, and you don't know if it's going to come at all. So it's that unknown, and it's that, just that mental obstacle to kind of keep going, but also being realistic and not dreaming too much. But you have to dream a little bit, so just being realistic and not getting yourself down too much by what might go wrong.
And what about your support network? Do you have one? And, what are your friends saying about your new endeavors? Was it a bit foreign? Because this is being online and an entrepreneur, everybody goes, oh, no, especially when people are traditionalists, It would be, it's good to find out more about your support network, or what people thought.
I think initially people are kind of like, oh yeah, she's taking a bit of a gap year. She just needs to kind of experiment a bit with YouTube and have a bit of fun. and lots of support. Everybody was supporting me and thought it was great, but I don't think they necessarily took it very seriously and thought it would go anyway. But now that they're starting to see that things are happening as a result of what I've been doing, even though it looked like I was just playing, I think they are starting to take it a bit seriously. So I've got an amazing family. I've got loads of support from them. Doesn't matter what I do. They're always there. So that's fantastic. And then I don't have many friends, surprisingly. I've worked at sea for a long time and I've met so many people, but I've only have about a handful of friends. And the ones I have are amazing. And there's 3 really strong women there, actually, you included. And yeah, if anything really goes wrong or I need to talk about something or my doubts or my fears, yeah, there's 3 really strong friends that I can turn to and discuss things like that. So yeah, I'm really lucky. I'm not such a social person, so I'm quite happy with a small group of people that are there for me when I need them, and I can be there for them. But yeah, other than that, I'm pretty much by myself, just kind of cracking on and doing it.
That's awesome. Okay, if you could change one thing about the transition, what would it be?
One thing, I would not have done it in the winter.
Yeah.
The timing maybe wasn't the best, but then again, the timing's never right for anything in life, for leaving a job, for breaking up with someone, for telling someone that they've gotten fat, for whatever it is, you always think there'll be a better time for something.
Yeah.
There never is. So just do it and figure it out, I think.
Yeah.
So.
And Dietland's situation is a little bit unique because she's obviously had lots of time. Like, she really didn't have much of a life in comparison to mine, to be honest with you. We both left South Africa just after we finished high school, and we both, I think it was both kind of for like a gap year, and it just turned into forever. So Deaton was hustling on the boats for a good decade, and during that time she just worked so much that she could afford to quit her job to then take time to focus on the van. So her situation is a little bit more unique, where if someone like me had to do that, I'd be financially struggling because living life on year is just so hard to get a job, work part-time, do the business and everything. So yeah, her situation is completely different. Right. What opportunities has opened up for you so far?
Yeah, so I briefly mentioned a couple before. So just since posting like the final kind of van reveal, I've had somebody get in touch to actually convert a van for them here in the UK. I've had an estate agent ask me if I want to make videos for their houses and stuff, to advertise that. And I've had, a big YouTube channel get in touch. They want to feature me on their channel. So definitely things are happening. And I think they'll continue to happen. A few things kind of evolving, but nothing that I'm pursuing as of now. I still want to kind of enjoy the van a little bit before I decide to either sell it or go down to South Africa. So I'm just kind of trying to just wait and see what happens before rushing into anything. But yeah, things are happening.
That's great. And I think it's also not to rush into anything too quickly, because you can always take something on board that really isn't in line with you, this is why it's so important for us to always make sure that we stick to our authentic self. Like, what is our vision for our business, and how can we grow from there?
Yeah.
Okay, so what has your experience been like with KIF Media UK?
So, well, obviously you were involved with that. So at the beginning, I really didn't know where to start. I knew kind of how to set up a YouTube account, and I started making videos, but no idea about kind of the links and the SEOs and starting a website and which website to even go for. And I mean, so much is kind of setting up a basic framework of yeah, I mean, every business nowadays needs that. You need your social media, you need your Instagram and your website, and it needs to look professional. And if you've never done that before, it is quite daunting. And there's a lot of people out there charging so much money to help you set this up, but I don't know. It just seems like a lot of it is very wishy-washy. And yeah, going to you straight away, you gave me loads of really practical tips that I could just start doing straight away. And yeah, to be honest, in the beginning, I did everything you said, and I've just kind of carried on filming and uploading, and I haven't done very much since the last time we kind of intensively did that. And it's worked. Like, everything I've built on top of what you gave me has really worked. So I think, yeah, you've given me a really good framework to build on.
And just because I'd like to give the listeners a little bit more of a reality check. How long this whole, because we had a one-to-one, and I just, unfortunately, time is everything, and sometimes you only have that one-to-one, and then you just have to action it. How long did you spend actioning, setting up the house? Like, I would say this the foundation, the setup process. How long did it take you?
Probably a couple of weeks. I think it's kind of an ongoing process. You keep tweaking and making it better, and it can always be better. I can definitely tweak it again now. I'm sure there's a lot that I could upgrade, but yeah, I think a good 2 or 3 weeks to kind of, I wasn't on it full time, but to kind of work on it a bit, and then work on the van and work on the website and ask you a few more questions and kind of build on top of that, before I kind of left it for a while and just carried on with the van. I think it was about 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, so it's quite a lot of time to start up. So what would you recommend to the audience that KIF Media has to offer?
Well, for me, and somebody like me, I think it's just giving you that information, the confidence to kind of go and start up your website and your business, and kind of give you an idea of what you need. So it's just a good springboard to start up. And I think, even for somebody that kind of knows how to get started, if you want to fine tune that, that's also a place where you can jump in and just help, to kind of tweak it. And you're very honest, in the beginning, you'd watch my videos and be like, oh, the sound's a bit too loud there, or this isn't good, or that's not good. And sometimes when you're looking at something yourself all the time, you create your website and you're looking at it for hours and hours and hours, you don't see what's wrong with it. And I think you're very good at like spotting detail and kind of calling out when something is distracting or irritating. So I think you're very, very good at that, for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
And you're not scared to tell the truth either. You tell people how it is, which is great. That's what you pay for as well.
You have to have this feedback. I feel like I bombard everybody with, oh, how does this look? What must I change? Because people take criticism as a negative thing, where I take it as a positive thing, because you're getting perspective so that you can fine tune yourself to be better.
Absolutely.
And that's what people want. Well, I want you to be better at what you do, and I want that same value coming back to me. So it's very important to have this feedback. Okay. What advice would you give to those who are starting their own business?
I think you need to be realistic. Like you said before, I was in a very unique situation because I was on the boats for a long time. I saved a bit of money, so I could step into this with a safety net and do it, which I'm really grateful for. But not everybody can do that. So I think you just really have to be realistic to your own situation. What can you afford? How much time do you have? And push yourself a little bit. Think nothing's impossible, but don't go totally overboard, quit your job, not have a plan, and then it doesn't work out, then you'll be super disappointed. So you do have to be realistic, but don't be scared either. There's so many times that I was kind of not putting something out there because I wanted it to be perfect and it wasn't quite there yet. And then I stopped filming for a few weeks or even a month, I think it was, because I was just like, it's just too dirty and it's wet and I can't film properly, and it's just leave it. I'm just going to build the van and whatever. And then maybe you never put that content out, and maybe that video you put out that you think isn't perfect, maybe that's the one that gets seen, and that's the one that kind of takes off for you, you know. So don't be a perfectionist. Rather put something out than nothing at all, because it's not perfect. And every time it gets better. So there's one video I did with the reversing camera, how I installed that, and it was not the best video, I thought, but for some reason that's the one that's got the most views, just because it's useful information. So yeah, just don't stop creating, and don't limit yourself, but also be realistic about what you can achieve in financial terms and with your time available.
That's some amazing advice, because you're right. A lot of people I know, perfectionism, they are so talented, but because of their perfectionism, they don't get anywhere, which is unfortunate. How long have you been online? How long have you been have you been an online business, and are you monetizing now?
Right. So yeah, it's about 6-7 months now since I kind of started. I have started to monetize. I haven't gotten the full monetization through YouTube yet, but I think that'll come soon. I have started making a bit of money through the affiliate links via YouTube, via my videos, and I've had a few sales actually of art through my website. So there is money slowly coming in. It's not a lot, but I think it will pick up within the next couple of months. Yeah. So not bad in 6 months, from nothing coming in to a little bit coming in, you know. It's pretty good.
And I think with monetization, that people don't understand, it's very much a graph which goes slow in the beginning and then it just spikes up, and you just need that one opportunity that's going to give you that spike. And because we're on this digital community where people can give others more opportunity, this is where it all starts coming up. And this is why I'm invested, is for the long term. I'm not here to make a quick buck overnight. I'm here to have a sustained income that gives me that freedom to be my own boss and to do what I love. And you can always just grow from there. But that's right, you know, look at Ethan, she's got so many opportunities. She's got, you know, the YouTube, she's got her sales. So it's not just one stream of income, it's going all around. And that's
exactly. I think it's creating like different baskets for all your eggs, and just making sure that each of those baskets is maintained and isn't falling apart. And even if just one egg hatches in each basket, you're winning, you know. And over the long term, if you kind of cultivate all those baskets, then you've got loads of different streams of income. And if one fails, you've still got the rest. So it's kind of maintaining everything. And over the long term, hopefully, it should keep us afloat.
It will. Talking in the present, it will. Okay, so what are your business values?
I think, I'm a person that's very honest. I don't like to manipulate things or people too much, so I think my values as a person transfer onto the values I hope to put into my business. Just honesty, just telling things as they are, in a real way, and just giving an honest kind of representation in my photographs or in my videos, telling a story, or just selling a piece of art that speaks to someone. So it's kind of that bit sentimental, kind of nostalgic feelings that I want to evoke in people through photography, art, and videography, really.
Yeah, you need to go check her photography and her videos out. I love them. I'm just like in awe of them all. I love it. Which online platform is your favorite?
So I think YouTube, just because I've been so busy with it lately, and it's just so informative. You can go and learn absolutely everything. I mean, I built my van just by watching other people build their van on YouTube. So I'm really enjoying YouTube, and I'm enjoying creating videos. But the next one I would say is Instagram. It's kind of fun, and it's quick and easy. So I think, with YouTube and Instagram, I kind of cover my ground.
Yeah. I saw as well, someone posted on their stories. So thank you for what was it?
So I did a video on installing a water heater into the van. and I'm not sure where they are. I think they're in the States. Maybe they're here, I'm not sure, but they saw my video, and and they followed it as the tutorial to installing their heater. And I've actually gotten a lot of messages from people asking for the reversing camera, more information on that, and the windows and stuff. And yeah, just trying to help where I can. I know what it was like doing it for my first time. You're kind of trying to figure stuff out, and it's really nice when you can reach out to somebody that's done it before, and get a bit of feedback. So it's really nice to see some positive feedback coming from my videos, and that was the goal as well, was to inspire people to do it for themselves and to learn from my mistakes. And I think it's succeeded. Yeah, I've kind of gotten the message across that I wanted to get across. So.
And actually, from this, what's your experience been like for the community? Because obviously, being in the van life is completely. I would say your focus is more photography and surfing, which obviously you got a little bit of that from traveling. But in terms of, because this van life is just all of a sudden giving you this explosion of something else. What has it been like interacting with the community, and how do you feel being part of that now?
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like I'm really part of it yet. It's just been kind of a virtual community at this stage. So whenever I've come into a problem with something, you post on a forum, and everybody's helping you out, or they're, making fun of you. But yeah, I've made contact with a handful of people in the van life community, and we're kind of in touch via just messages and stuff. And there's a few friends, I guess, there, people I'd like to meet in real life, and they seem really lovely. But I haven't really done the whole van life community as such in real life yet, so it's difficult for me to say. Again, like I said before, I'm a bit of a loner. I can't really see myself going off for like camping with 20 other vans, and that's not really my thing. I'd rather go off by myself to a beach somewhere, or to the mountains, and just me and the dog, and maybe one other person. I'm very much a one-on-one kind of person. I like to talk with one person and hear their story and really get a feeling for them. And I feel like when there's a lot of people around, I've never been a party person, because it's just it's not intimate. You can't really, they don't get to know you and you don't get to know them. And it's just, I prefer, be it with friendships or with family or anything else, I just like that kind of one-on-one thing. So we'll see what the van life community has to offer. I'm sure there's a lot of colorful characters out there, and I'm sure I'll meet a few of them along the road, but I don't know, I don't really feel like I'm a van lifer now.
Well, technically you are. You've
Technically.
built a van, so that gives you one badge at least.
Yeah.
And also COVID, bro, like COVID's been obviously in the way, so you can't really go and do much because of social distancing and things. So hopefully, maybe before you sell the van, you'll be able to hook up with someone and have a one-to-one experience. So anybody listening, if you want that experience with Dietland,
easy now, that sounds a bit
not that type of experience, but that's if she will accept you, because she's particular. Okay, cool. So what is your vision for Schirmer Shoots?
Yeah, I hope Schirmer Shoots keeps growing. I hope to really start making videos with meaning, with a real message, that evoke, just feelings in people of nostalgia and of wanting to travel and wanting to better themselves and wanting to, I don't know, start again, reinvent their lives. That's always been the mission. So wherever that is, if that's in Europe or in Africa, I hope to kind of continue that. And and document people's stories. Or I'd love to make videos for a surf camp or a coffee shop, but tell the personal side of that story, because I can see it with the van. You put so much love and energy into something, and what I put into my van, some lady down the road would have put into a coffee shop, and it would have been a dream to have a coffee shop, and she's done it and started a business. And if she needs advertising for that, I'd love to come in and tell her story, and be like, support your local coffee shop, and don't go to the big corporations, go to this guest house, or help this lady with her gardening business or whatever. So I'd love to help people tell their story and sell their business in a human way, because I think it's such a great tool to have the internet and to be able to work virtually like this and have business virtually like this. But I think it's really important as well to not lose our humanity. And we still need to tell real stories and be in touch with each other. We need to really be careful that we don't lose that. So that's my passion, and that's my hope for Schirmer Shoots, to kind of, to tell people stories and to somehow make a living out of that.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like I do love the online world, but the online world will eventually help to fund really my end goal, and that's to open a retreat. Because when I taught yoga face to face, it was the best feeling, and just hearing everybody's stories face to face was just incredible. So I definitely can relate to that, and it's great supporting small independent businesses. Actually, whilst we're on this topic, I was just thinking, what's been the inspiration behind your Schirmer Shoots? What inspires you and your vision?
I think it comes from childhood a bit as well. My grandparents were the first photographers in Namibia. They started a business there in, when was it, 30s or something, a really long time ago, and they were photographing with film and developing stuff in a dark room. And so they always had photography as their business. That's what they did. And my father became a photographer and an artist. So we've always had that in our, just in our family. So I think it's part of my heritage. And we've always been surfers, and we've been adventurers, and we've been travelers, and we've always been a little bit unorthodox. So I definitely think it's a family heritage. There's just the photography and the travel and the filmmaking that kind of comes from my grandparents. And they were in Namibia, was Southwest Africa at the time, when there was nothing there. It was wild, and they went into the desert and were photographing the lions there before tourists went there. It was proper wild, and I kind of often feel like I'm not really born in the right age. I wish I was born before smartphones and before, all this stuff, because I don't know, it just seems so much more romantic. And I kind of, that time, that age, I want to bring that alive again. And, yes, with digital photography and with YouTube and with stuff like that, but the essence of adventure and of real stories, that's still there. And that's what I want to kind of capture. So I think it comes from my grandparents, really.
I'm sure they are so proud now. And I'm looking forward to seeing this all unfold. I think it's so exciting. Like, especially because
you'll be part of it for sure at some point. We're going to do a trip together.
I know, definitely. But I think as well, Dylan, we haven't really, like, both of us have been really creative, but I feel like we haven't really like been there, like on the front line, seeing this like inspiration develop and transform really for both of us. Like, obviously you've been with even my whatever period I've had in my life, you've been working hard. So this is such a great time now where we both can just see each other's like energy just rise, and for me to see also what your true passions is, and it's so cool. I'm so excited.
It's really funny how it kind of worked out. We're kind of at a very similar stage again, and we're kind of bouncing off each other, which is great, and really weird that that's kind of happened after 10 years. And we've always been good friends. We haven't been close physically because we've just always been on other sides of the world. But somehow we always kind of bounce back to a similar point, which is quite strange and really nice to kind of share that experience. It's great.
There was at some time, I think I only got to see Dylan once every 3 years. Like, it was that crazy.
That's everyone though.
Like, we'll see you in the next endeavor, and then
that's been my life. That's been my life for the last 10 years. I've always only seen people once every few years, even my family. That's the life I had, so I think that's another thing. I'm very happy alone, but I think it's time to also find a little bit of a community somewhere. I don't think I can stay in one place for too long. I'll need to be moving. But it's nice to have somewhere to call home. I think it's time.
We're very similar like that. I needed, like, we were like, okay, cool, I've been here too long, I need to go.
For sure.
Okay, so how has COVID-19 impacted Schirmer Shoots, and do you feel limited?
So to be honest, during the build, not very much, because before the whole lockdown started, I was already building and living like a hermit and just building the van. And while after the lockdown ended, I was still building the van and keeping to myself. So not really practically so much. But I think it will, if there is another lockdown or if things start getting restricted again, with my movements. And I'm a bit concerned about that. I don't want to be told I can't go somewhere, so I would like to be able to move freely, but we're just going to have to see how that goes. So up until now, not so much. It's probably done me good, actually, because people are sitting at home watching more YouTube. But I hope it doesn't limit our freedoms and our movements too much in the next few months to come.
Cool. So what is your go-to mantra or quote?
I don't think I really have a mantra or a quote when I get into a headspace that's kind of negative. I just try to remind myself that, I mustn't compare myself kind of to the top players, because what you do is you go on YouTube and you watch these like epic videos and these people just winning, and you set your bar so high. It's kind of that perfectionist thing again, to not stop because you think you're not good enough, because there's always somebody that thinks you're great, so just put out what you're doing and do the best you can, and then move on and don't dwell on it. And just remember that there's always somebody with worse cards than you, hustling harder, doing better, because really you've got no excuse, and really we've got nothing to lose. None of us are getting out of this alive, so just do what you want to do in realistic terms, and don't be scared. Just keep going. Don't feel sorry for yourself. It's just a waste of time.
Yeah, trust. Exactly. And this, what helps keep you motivated?
Dreaming.
Yeah.
You've got to dream. You've got to have hope. Without hope, there's nothing. So just dreaming of, well, where's the van going to go? And then dreaming of, what if the van's not there anymore? What then? Just keep dreaming and keep imagining what possibilities there are. That keeps me motivated. Yeah.
Awesome. So that's all the questions I have for you.
Oh
But
no.
we can have a quick fire round. I'm just going to quickly write it down because I forgot to. But literally, I think I'm going to set a timer and we're going to do it 1 minute. And you're just going to go quick, because I'm going to give you multiple choice basically. And you're just going to say either one, which relates to you.
Okay.
It's just, yeah.
This is Tasha.
Yeah.
Are you writing the questions now?
Yeah.
Why didn't you do it before?
Because I forgot. I remembered I put it on there and I forgot. But no, I've got it like ready. So
Okay.
like literally I'm at number 9 and number 10. So don't worry.
Okay.
Okay. You just need to do it as quick as possible. I'll set a timer. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, go. Dog or cat?
Dog.
Beer or wine?
Wine.
Camping or hotel?
Camping.
Tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Most exciting moment?
Jumping off a burning ship in the middle of the night.
Embarrassing moment?
Oh, I kind of blanked those out of my memory. I don't know.
We'll come back. Favorite food?
Favorite food?
Yes.
Thai food.
Favorite place?
Namibia and Ireland.
Dream country you'd like to go to?
Iceland.
Favorite activity?
Surfing.
And going back to embarrassing moment, you've got 10 seconds.
Honestly, there have been many. I just can't think of any right now.
Okay, time's up. That's fine. That one was the wild card question.
Yeah, honestly, like I'd even tell you one now. Let me just have a think. Like, I can't think of any. Getting seasick in front of my new captain on a new boat.
Oh,
We were sailing at night, and yeah, I got seasick, and there was no bucket there, so I just vomited in his office. That was pretty embarrassing. There have been more. There have been many more.
That's perfect.
Normally, pee and vomit, they go well together.
Yeah. So, any last words you want to say to the audience and people listening that you want to share before we wrap this up?
Yeah, just, good luck on your ventures, and I really hope that you can, achieve your dreams and help somebody else achieve their dreams and support each other. I think there's real strength in kind of supporting each other and not being jealous and not, comparing yourself to others, but trying to actually support each other, which is what you're doing right now. And I think it's just fantastic. And I think women are better at that, at kind of getting together and encouraging each other. So it's really nice to see. So yeah, just good luck, keep powering, don't give up, don't be a perfectionist, rather put it out there. And if something doesn't work out, that's life. Stuff is not going to always work out, but you need to kind of keep your core values. So it doesn't matter what happens peripherally, you need to kind of have you and your own mission at the center point, so it doesn't feel like everything else is falling apart.
Great. I think that's a great way to end this wonderful podcast interview. So please, everybody, follow Schirmer Shoots on Instagram and YouTube. Let her get monetizing on YouTube and get to her first 1,000. She's just crossed 400 subs. So congratulations, Deep.
Thank you.
Please do help her, because this really helps support her and helps her keep bringing you amazing content on her channel, and the more we support each other, the better. And with ourselves, KIF Media UK, we are launching our membership in August, and this is going to be such an exciting time. But please do sign up to our mailing list to get any special offers. We've also got free content on our YouTube. So follow KIF Media UK on Facebook, Instagram, and it's called Miss KIF on YouTube. Awesome. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and hope you have a fabulous day, and hope this podcast has inspired you to keep thriving as a female entrepreneur. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
I'll just end that. No. How do I?